Some people really don't believe that a tiny change can actually end up as a huge result in the right direction. Let's talk about it back in a minute. Hey, good morning, good morning. This is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love to help people keep some more of their hard earned money. Could that be you? How's everybody doing today? I hope that you're feeling as bright and as beautiful as the sunshine, sort of looking background on this audio visual thing today. Hope that you're doing well and that you had a great night. I don't understand why sometimes people can't get it that making a tiny change, now you may not notice it at the very beginning. When you make a change in the right direction or even in the wrong direction, if you make some sort of change in the beginning, not so noticeable. Like if you're trying to cut corners here or there, or change something in some area in your life, it's like, you're not seeing the big results. Well, that may be true because it's just simply too early. But if you take a change or a habit or make a decision to take a step in the right direction, no matter how small that step may be, whether it's exercising a couple of minutes longer, because for some people, 5 minutes longer might be the first 5 minutes in a long time. So that is a huge quantum leap if you look at it that way. But today we're going to focus our attention on our timing and our shopping habits when we choose to do grocery hauls, when we choose to go to the grocery store. Many people no longer go as often literally into the store because, everybody's life is different and everybody makes different choices, and et cetera, et cetera. But for those folks that still actually go to the physical grocery store, I have a question for you. How many times a month do you go to the grocery store? Now, many years ago, I have discovered that I was finding myself every single week going to the grocery store on an every 7 day basis. Okay. And there is nothing wrong with that. If you do that and it fits your lifestyle and your family and all this, so you can keep better track of things, there's a lot of merit to that. But here's a trick for those who aren't really the biggest fans of the grocery store, or with the price of traveling, the way it could be in gas and all this and all that. Is there any way you could consider reducing your trips to the physical grocery store? I have found that if I shop once a week, for example, I find myself sometimes with too much overage of things that don't necessarily keep the best, if you know what I'm saying. And that kind of forced me to eat. I don't want to do food waste. I'm not into the food waste thing. So here's my suggestion, and I have mentioned this a long time ago, and actually Money Mom mentioned my tip a couple of years back to her audience, which is amazing. That was very kind of her. And some folks even very recently tapped me on the shoulder, if you will, so to speak, that they love this method and they have implemented this method. What am I talking about? Well, just change your shopping cycle around a little bit. Why? Well, instead of going every 7 days, for example, would you consider going either once every 10 days, or for some folks who are really, really good at planning and all that stuff, every 14 days? You know something? Let's think about this for a minute. Instead of, if you go every single week, let's say you typically drive to your grocery store, for example, and you're using the gas that you're using 4 times more than you should. If you reduce it just by actually expanding your spreading your time out to 10 days, every 10 days as opposed to every 7, guess what? You just eliminated one trip that month. You just eliminated extra energy, time, and gas. Think about that for a second. If you really want to enter a brave new world, if you will, would you consider going every 14 days to the grocery store? Can you handle that? How many of you out there shop twice a month? about every 14 days? Let me know in the comments section below. I'm curious about that. There are some that literally go shopping once a month. Look at all the gas they're saving there. And that, of course, will take probably a little bit longer, but there are ways and there are ways. Now, that to me is a huge step in the right direction, reducing your trips to the grocery store. Is there any way that you have like a membership, for example, and get your groceries delivered for free? You're just, paying a little bit of a tip. Okay. But what are you getting back in return? You're getting a lot of hours of which you can earn money as opposed to just keep going back and forth to the grocery store. Now, don't get me wrong. If this is something like you truly enjoy, I'm not knocking anyone that loves to go personally to the grocery store, but you see my idea of this methodology of reducing the trips to the grocery store. Another thing that I have found very helpful, and this is really, really good for folks that really know their grocery stores very well, know the layout of their stores, and they're kind of store loyal, and they usually hit a certain store or two all the time. When you prepare your grocery list, if you could prepare your grocery list in aisle order on your actual list, you will be out of there, in my opinion, at a fraction of the time than if you randomly dart here, dart there, dart everywhere. No, have a strategic list plan, like where the everything goes in the perimeters of the outer aisles. You know what's in aisle 1, aisle 2, et cetera, et cetera. You know it by heart already. That will make your life a lot easier. You will be saving absolutely a ton of time. And let's say you do the every 10 days method, which is great. I like the 10-day one the best, and I'll tell you why. Okay, especially for folks that have always shopped the every 7 days, they're kind of used to going on the frequent side, but this kind of forces people to use up what's in their fresh refrigerator more. And that's really a handy thing, especially like in the warmer weather, like next year, you can remember with this in the warmer weather to use up your stuff, that your refrigerated stuff, because of the increased incident of a power failure during the warmer weather. Well, at least where I live anyway. During the warmer weather, we have an increased risk of a power failure, let's say like during the months of July and August. And happy to say that, not to say a power failure can't happen anytime. Of course, it could happen any time of the year. But over here, it just tends to be, everyone's different. Everyone knows their locale is different. And like some people have to prepare, for example, for the hurricane season. But to reduce your trips to the grocery store, to know precisely where your stuff is, and to create your list in that manner, and just go around the stores like that, 1, 2, 3, to me, that is very efficient to avoid food waste and go every 10 days to the grocery store, forcing you to use up your fresh stuff that much more. Just saying, timing is everything. And a tiny step in the right direction, done well and done consistently, really can add up. If you found value in this video, please smash down the like button. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care now. Bye-bye.